you, babe. I got you, babe.
It is 24 to 6. That was Sonny and Cher, I think, going back to the late 1960s. My father, John Elliott, is having a week off. Instead, my lovely wife, Elise Elliott, is replacing him. Elise, good evening.
Oh, good evening. They're big shoes to fill, Tom.
They are indeed. I'm calling this the apples and strife segment.
A bit of rhyming slang.
Rhymes with
Better
wife.
than ball and chain.
Now, when we first met, you didn't nag me, but now that we've been together for quite some time, just every now and then you do repeat yourself when you want me to do something. I'll call that nagging. Why do you do it?
Well, before you go there, let's just go back a bit about what the definition of nagging is. It actually comes, I did a bit of research here, from the Scandinavian gnaga, which means to gnaw. And certainly nagging does gnaw away at any marriage.
It does. It gnaws away at a man's spirit.
Yeah, it does. And really, nagging is just a repetition of the same thing, like put the toilet seat down, put the toilet seat down, put that toilet seat down. So really, I think if men did what women said the first time round, they wouldn't have to nag.
All right, 96900 693 13 13 32. Now, in defence of men, like every day I have a list of things I have to do.
Yes.
Right? And I write it in my diary, and I used to print it out, and I'd scribble them out as I did them. So if you ask me to do something, it's on the list somewhere.
Yeah.
And just because it hasn't been done within a millisecond of you asking for it to be done, it will eventually be done. But it just has to be placed in priority with other things that I have to do. So, in fact, telling me to do it more and more times actually puts it further down the list. So it's actually counterproductive.
Well, actually, I've got a bit of a twist on this topic because I want to tell the listeners out there that actually I'm the naggee in this marriage now because I think you nag me more than I nag you.
No, men don't nag. It's not genetically possible.
It's called bossing. But I have a list of things that you nag me about, and I term it nagging when you say it more than once. And one, it relates to the Mustang. Everyone knows that Tom has a Mustang. I'm not allowed to drive it, but I'm not even allowed to brush past it.
And there's a good reason for that.
Why?
Okay, because you wear all these rings and bangles on, and what you don't understand is even when you open the car, you scratch it.
Right. So
women don't understand cars. Women don't understand that having rings on your fingers scratches the car.
That's a terrible sweeping statement. I'm not even allowed to look at it, really, am I?
No.
In case I, take the sheen off. There's that. You tell me often to turn off the lights. Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights.
I'm actually a committed environmentalist. I don't like saying lights that are left on for no purpose. So turning them off is because I've been affected by Richard Di Natale, who says we don't need to burn coal and electricity unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm. You nag me. This is, the Sisyphean task of doing the washing. You do it, it reappears. You do it, it reappears. And I often lose a black sock of Tom's, and he goes berserk about that. You do nag me about your black socks. Do you know what I've done? I've actually gone and bought a secret stash of black socks, and I hide them in the back of the laundry. So when I, heaven forbid, lose one in the black hole of the washing machine, a new one appears, because I'm so terrified of being nagged by you about losing a black sock.
All right, 96900 693 13 13 32. Kerry, good evening.
Elise, it's a toilet seat and it's a hinge. Leave him. For God's sake, can't you operate a hinge?
I know. Do you know what? We went to this very posh dinner party the other night, and the toilet seat was heated and automatic. So I think it automatically went down. So I'm thinking of installing that, the automatic toilet seat. But look, the point of this story is I don't really nag him about that. I am far more the victim of nagging.
I don't really understand why women so insist it has to be down. For example, if you're a man who has, like Dennis O'Kane, has to go to the toilet several times at night,
yes,
it would make sense to leave it up because he's going to be using it more often.
Look, you're outnumbered by women in the household, so it means it needs to be down more often than it needs to be up. Plus, there's certain times during the day, without being too gross, that you do need it down. So I figure it needs to be down more than it needs to be up.
Aaron, what do you think?
I just wanted to know if Elise is allowed to drive the old Valiant, if she's not allowed to drive the Mustang.
What do you reckon the answer to that is, Aaron?
Oh, well, probably a no as well, but I just wondered.
Aaron, can I tell you something? I actually review cars for Wheels magazine. I'm actually a very proficient driver and better than Tom. He is actually a very dubious driver.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to do is save our marriage. See, if I smash my own car, That's all right. That's on me.
Yes.
But if you smash it, I'll always be a bit angry at you about it. That's the point.
I know. But the list doesn't. And I meant to add, sorry, two other things you nag me about. I don't screw the toothpaste lid on. You know how
Well,
to.
and that wastes a lot of toothpaste.
Yeah, there you go.
Because it goes all dry and hard.
I don't screw the lids on jars tight enough. You tell me off about that.
And then when you pick the jar up, it drops on the floor and smashes.
So can you see? I am the naggy here. I really have a hard time.
No, but these are legitimate things. They're just things that need to be done.
Right. Okay.
All right, 96900 693. We'll go back to calls in a moment. The Comedy Festival is starting, and, well, it's already started. Now, this will sound extraordinarily sexist, and I won't let that stop me from saying it, but I've always thought that male comedians are much funnier than female ones. When I think of the greatest comedians in my life, it's Monty Python, it's Little Britain, it's groups like that, all men. What do you think?
I think women are actually funnier than men. Interesting with the Comedy Festival, there are 559 shows on at the moment, and 30% are women shows, which is great, because apparently when they started 31 years ago, there was only 50 shows and they were full
it's
of
political
blokes.
correctness. It's
no,
quotas.
it's not. It's because they are truly funny, and a lot of the shows like Ruby Wax and Judith Lucy and Denise Scott's shows have sold out. So people are flocking to see them.
But it's mainly women who probably go and watch them.
No, that's not true. And I'll tell you why I think women are funnier than men. They can laugh at themselves. Women do self-deprecation better than blokes.
But a lot of female comedy is just whinging about things.
No, it's not. I think male comedy's stale. I mean, the old fart joke. I mean, hello, we've been there, we've done that. But there's something more nuanced about female
Is it better than
comedians.
Monty Python?
Oh, it's a tough call.
96900
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
And let's not forget that in Monty Python, a lot of the female characters are actually men dressed up as women. It's 17 to 6.
Chronic nagging, nagging, nagging.